a different experience for you, I suppose, watching it from the sidelines, but a wee bit higher up. What was your thoughts on the game?
Probably great value for money for the neutral. I thought it was a game of two halves. I thought we looked really, really good, dangerous in the first half, controlled a lot of the game in terms of with and without the ball, everything that we'd set out to do. And then second half, naturally you'd expect a bit of reaction. They're a good side and probably don't get the credit that they deserve for. They get labelled probably a team that they're not. They've got a lot of good footballers in there, and they play really nice football at times. And listen, we done well. We suffered at times in the second half without the ball. And a really entertaining game, great character twice to come back. You think you've seen the spirit and the effort levels and stuff that the boys put in. So from a coaching manager's point of view, that's all I can ask. Everything else I can't control, but one thing that you can say is that the boys' application and desire into that game was 110%.
3 goals, kind of different goals. Obviously the first one's really well worked, really good finish. Ben being there in the right place at the right time, having the rebound for the second, and then Strava, of all people, pot him up to get on the end of. Was that a shot or a cross from Aidan Lawson?
No, listen, to be fair, and I've got to credit Sinky and stuff, we'd worked on things like that. We worked early part of the game. We were unlucky with a couple, trying to get Aidan's man blocked for the header round the back or round the back, and then play live from the second phase. Could we get it across the 6? He does really, really well. I don't know, I'll need to look at it back, but from real time when I remember it, it's easy to slash at that. And in panic, he has a wee step and an extra breath, and he slows himself down and picks the right option, flashes across the 6, and Strava's between the posts. He's there where I expect all my forwards to be, sniffing out kind of an opportunity. And again, it's another sub coming on with an impact, which I speak about all the time, and I'm glad that the subs are coming on and doing that.
We spoke to Strava during the week, actually, in previewing the game, and it's great to see him back involved at all after such a horrendous injury, nearly a year on exactly since it happened. But for him to not just be back involved and back playing, but getting his goal back, it's a big moment for him.
It's magic, isn't it? No, he's listening, and like you say, that's probably testament to a lot of the things behind the scenes, and kind of when he's been doing his rehab and a lot of the hard graft that goes unnoticed. He's come back, and listen, coming back from a bad cruise ship, for someone so young, so explosive in the way that he plays, it probably you're expecting 6 to 10 weeks to get that rustiness out your legs, and I think you see that even when he comes on, he's a live wire, the sharpness is there, and that's credit to all the hard work. When there's been times I bet he's not wanted to do his rehab, and there's been, oh, can I have a day off and all this, but credit to him, he stuck with it. He understood that it's going to be a long process and he needs to get through it, and again he gets his rewards. And of course we're delighted, but at the same point we're also gutted that we'll be missing him for the game, but listen, for what he's been through as an individual and the amount of hard work that he's put into it, for myself, the club, wish him nothing but the best going into the international games. Delighted for him.
I suppose just one wee fly in the ointment really, other than I guess the concession of the 3 goals, but speaking of injuries, how's Aaron?
I think it's possibly his hammy again. No, I don't want to jump to conclusions. He said it was the same feeling as before, which is frustrating because I think the last game certainly, and we've tried to manage his kind of load and manage his training load as well to make sure that we've not rushed him back too quick. We've had hamstring and muscle injuries kind of left, right and centre, and we've either rushed him back too quick or not taken the correct protocols, and frustrated for him because he's probably, from an outside point of view, looking like he's made of chocolate, but he's the most professional player that I've ever worked with in terms of his diet, in terms of his application recovery. He's a hard worker, and you can see that in the look in his face. You can see when he comes off, he's devastated, because if there's anybody who doesn't deserve a bit of bad luck with injuries, it's Aaron Reid.
Well, hopefully come Tuesday and through the week it's a better picture. We'll check in on that as it goes, but for now, a really good point.
I think so. I think before the game, if you'd have said, would you have taken a point, I think that point would have been something that would have been saying, well, we don't lose the game for a start, but of course we want to go on and win that. And listen, we had opportunities to do so. Livy probably had the same, so it was a fairly entertaining game. I actually really enjoyed it from upstairs. Towards the end, you get a little bit emotional, and I've got to make sure that I'm not shouting in the box. But it's, it was good, and like I said, from a neutral's point of view, and speaking to a couple of their board members and our board members, and both it could have went kind of either way, which is how I want my teams to play. You know, we're called entertainers. I want people to be off their seats, and I want people to be entertained. At the same time, as long as they give 100% for the badge, which they are, I can't complain.
Brilliant, Rhys. We'll see you Tuesday. Thank
Cheers.
you, Dean. I suppose it's the old cliche, right? If you can't win the game, just don't lose it.
Yeah, obviously it was a good first half, obviously getting the 2 goals, and we had a lot of control in the game, obviously at the times they had as well, but we worked it well, worked into good attacking areas, but obviously the second half just kind of petered away for us a bit. We had a lot of the ball, but we done well to get the point.
Your goal, a cracker as well. It seemed to take a wee while to cross the line. I thought I was waiting for it to go in, but really good goal. You must be pleased with it.
It was a bit draggy, but obviously the gaffer was saying during the week at times when we were attacking, just be free flow, play what you want, kind of. Obviously as long as we've got a bit of a structure, so I thought I'll just take off, and luckily Gav heard me in the cutback, so we'll take it.
Does that maybe speak to the way yous are working just now? Yous all trust each other, yous all kind of have a better understanding of each other's game, the sort of newer recruits that are now, you know, well into the squad and stuff like that. Does that just mean you can click into those moments better?
Yeah, I feel like we're bonded well as a team on the pitch as we were obviously the first part of the season, but I think if that game today happened the first part of the season, I think they probably would have beat us today. But I think it shows the character and where we've came from the past obviously a couple of months with the good results, so it shows where we're at as a team and we can push forward and try to get more positive results.
You touched on it yourself, second half was a lot harder. Livy threw everything at us, and I suppose the best thing that we can take from it beyond just the point is that the heads didn't drop at 3-2. You've got yourselves back in there and made another chance and took it. Yeah,
obviously they had a lot of the ball and we did suffer. That's what the gaffer says. Sometimes it is okay to suffer with the ball, but at times we need to take care of it and play forward quick and get into attacking areas and manage the game better. I think if we had a wee bit of possession in their half there and moved it side to side, we'd have had more joy and maybe wouldn't have a lot of pressure on us. But as the game plays out, I think they flung maybe 4 or 5 boys forward and it was pinned us back, so it does happen.
Certainly never ever boring, but it's a point gained. I guess we've got to look at it that way. It gets us that point closer to the 2 teams immediately above us. What do we take from that? Just keep going forward?
I think we were saying there it was disappointing because of the fact we're 2-1 up, but a point is good. Obviously they are second in the league, so a point does bring us an extra point closer. I think that's 6 now, is it?
Yeah, it's 6 and 7 to 8.
So obviously 2 games now, which we can. Obviously the rest of the fixtures we think we can win them all. Obviously we're not going to get the mindset, I think we can't win, we can win all of them, so that'll be the message going forward, just take it game by game.
Brilliant. We'll speak to you and the rest of the guys on Tuesday. Dean, thank you very much. Perfect. Well played.
Thank you, cheers.